each new day, there comes a new life, challenging all we think and know about the creation of life. The beauty of life is in the awakening to the spirit of discovery. So begins our journey into the realms of prenatal education with emphasis on motherhood and the future of unborn children. Current research within the scientific and medical community indicates that the mother's thoughts and emotions during the prenatal period have a direct impact on her child's development and state of consciousness.
We need a new awareness, a new consciousness. We must feel, understand better, and help other people to know that what happens in the womb, what happens at the time of childbirth, what happens at the time of breastfeeding, is of paramount importance for the future of any human being.
Every indication is that the senses of the baby develop much earlier than we ever imagined, that the mind of the baby is alert and working earlier than we imagined. Everything that happens to a mother happens to the baby inside. Now that's a relatively new idea, because in the old days we used to think that the placenta, which surrounds the baby, was provided a barrier to protect the baby from anything happening out in the world, or even from what was happening inside the mother, that somehow that was an isolation tank. We know now that this is a terrible myth. It is instead an organ of transfer. The placenta transfers everything, virtually everything from the mother directly into the baby.
You know that when a mother has some emotions, for example, which may be positive or negative, mother may be happy or not unhappy, she's secreting different kind of hormones. And we know nowadays that the hormones which play a role in the bonding process, what we call vasopressin, prolactin, endorphins, are secreted very early in the life, in the womb, very early, in the first weeks after the conception. So we have many reasons to think that what the emotions of a pregnant woman may be very important for the future of the human being, which is still an embryo or a fetus.
We have to accept the fact that what's happening to the mother is happening to the baby. And if what's happening to the mother is to be emotionally upset, then the emotions of the mother will translate into chemistry that the baby is bathed in. The baby is literally then swimming in the emotional stew, in the chemistry that is stirred up by the emotions themselves.
What are these emotions? Well, first look around and see the disturbing images we have created. Today, the expectant mother is exposed to a multitude of stressful situations, ranging from the frustrations encountered while doing daily chores to the constant reminder through the media of increasingly complex global conflicts threatening the very existence of our planet. Perhaps the situation in which we find ourselves today is partly the result of a lack of awareness during the crucial stages of prenatal life and birth.
Back in the late 1930s, Albert Einstein wrote to Sigmund Freud with that devastating question, why war? And Freud really wrote back in a very fatalistic fashion and said, war comes out of the instinctive behavior of human nature. There's nothing much we can do about it. We will always have wars. All we can try to do is modify the way they go on. Today, we understand that what Freud saw as instinctive, we now understand as innate, and that's different. It's there at birth, but it was learned during birth and before birth. So it is not instinctive, it is innate. It is not given as part of the hardware of the human personality. It is learned and can be relearned. It is not unchangeable, immutable, fatalistically given. It is open to modification. And there, I think, lies the seeds of realistic hope.
In spite of more than 50 years of progress in electronics, medicine, and science, with dramatic discoveries and advanced technology, why then does the most important resource on the planet, the total human being, continue to be neglected? There is a way. There is hope for humanity.
We are right on the brink of how to create consciously. And what a woman spends her time thinking about during the pregnancy is the creation that is resulted. One of the current teachers that is a proponent of the prenatal education philosophy is a teacher in France, Omar Michael Ivanhoff. One of his books, Hope for the World, Spiritual Galvanoplasty, indicates that when human beings begin to consciously recreate themselves and do that outside of the stress and the anxiety and all of the things that we have created around us, when that happens, we can close our prisons. The whole idea of two beings coming together to consciously create a reflection of who they are so that that threesome or trinity can work together to evolve to a higher level of consciousness than they started with, is the reason that we were given the ability to reproduce.
If I were able to present one ideal of what every couple should know before conception, is that their emotional sense of well-being, the way they live their lives, everything that they do, physically, emotionally, is very directly affecting the child within them. And that if they just think about keeping themselves in the happiest, best place possible, that they're doing the best possible job they can for their child.
Harmony, tenderness, and intimacy between the couple are extremely important even before the conception of a new life. Now that the spermatozoa from the man meets the ovulating egg of the woman, the growth and massive multiplication of new developing cells is one of nature's miracles, performed with the utmost mathematical precision and beauty. Once a seed is planted, all of nature itself provides the elements to make the growth of this new life possible. How your child will spend future days, months, and years is determined by the qualities of the thoughts and feelings the unborn has received at conception and throughout pregnancy.
First of all, in the first weeks of pregnancy, it would be ideal that the pregnancy was planned. That's the most ideal state. And my view as a psychotherapist is that the woman would fully understand, consciously and unconsciously, that she wants that child, that it's something that is coming to her as a matter of complete and pure choice. That is the most ideal for the health of the child and the woman. Many times there's a difference. The woman consciously may say, I want a child, but there's a lot of underlying feelings that she doesn't fully know about. So part of pregnancy planning should be that the woman really fully understands her feelings before making this very major life decision.
I think that the most important thing for a couple is to want his baby and to want it very strongly. Even if life is difficult, even if you live in a non-developed country, even you have big difficulties in your life, if you want your baby strongly and if you feel love.
Spending time creating harmony during pregnancy leads to a beautiful unfolding of the pregnancy. In moments such as these, the nobility and beauty of your daughter or son's character is enhanced. When a pregnant woman is ready to apply the qualities she and her partner most admire, for instance, kindness, generosity, and expressions of creativity, these are fundamental steps in the practice of prenatal education. Useless stress and petty worries have no place in the day of the pregnant
In
woman.
the morning time, it's been my practice to get up and quiet my thoughts and meditate. But a lot of times, I would rather get up and start doing the dishes and running around. And it's this baby that kind of kicks me, and with its attitude, reminds me to go sit down and to quiet myself and to tap into our source of nourishment, which is the Spirit.
These images of light, nature, color, and music are combined to form a complete tapestry to effect very special states of mind that influence the unborn in a beneficial way. The pregnant mother should be taught to find a state of mind where her most vividly imagined poetic impressions are conveyed through her thinking and feeling onto her unborn child.
As long as there will be some groups of human beings will go on destroying the earth, the atmosphere, the oceans, to maintain their power or their high standard of living, there will be no possible peace among humans. So what we need first in another kind of relationship between humans and the earth itself, that is to say between humans and the mother. You know, there is a connection between our relationship to the earth and our relationship to the mother. So we have to recreate a new environment so that the babies will have, every human being will have another relationship with the earth and with the woman. This is a way to create what we might call an ecological human being. Well, respect what we might call the nature, the earth itself.
These images of beauty received by the unborn are the most precious gift of all. Now it's up to our new future mothers to have the awareness to know the importance of preparing and sending only their best thoughts and feelings to their unborn children.
One thing that interested me most from a book I read by a cultural anthropologist, Ruth B.B. Hill, Hanta Yo, many viewers have probably read that. They talked about the way the Indians handled pregnancy in the woman, and it's so different from today. And it seems to be so much more natural and so much more real and so much more in line with what I as a psychotherapist see as being healthy. The woman had a lot of responsibilities removed from her. She was encouraged to not participate in many of the very active tribal things and allowed to take her own time, to be by herself, to be with her loving mate. And the whole tribal and community effort was to support this woman in a healthy pregnancy rather than to make her have the responsibility of being pregnant and keeping up with a million other things at the same time.
Family and friends can care for the quality of influences that surround the expectant couple, creating a brilliant tomorrow, asking of everyone to give their very best to the unborn. The work of the pregnant mother is very similar to the work of a builder, who chooses the finest quality materials available for constructing a skyscraper or a house, whether mediocre or magnificent. We've known for years that good food enhances basic physical strength. But today, doctors and scientists know that good food contributes to sensitivity, handling stress, and the ability of the expectant mother to communicate prenatal benefits to her unborn child.
To prepare for the birth is to have a